feel the heat, but we don't wanna let go. We answer questions that we ask alone. I hear the words, but they're coming out an echo. So, would you give up the fight if you had no time to even surrender? Would you give up your rights and let your life slide away? Suffocates at the bottom. Don't take the bait, just walk away. Resuscitate your nirvana. I feel a way I've never felt before. I finally found what I'm looking for. So, would you give up the fight if you had no time to even surrender? Would you give up your rights and let your life slide away? Give up the fight if you had no time to even surrender. Would you give up your rights and let your life slide away?
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 8th episode of FNV. FNV is short for Friday Night VTubing, where I, your host Zarastro, interview various VTubers from all over the community. In this episode, my wonderful guest will be Sotodate Takashi. And with that,
Hello.
Takashi, please introduce yourself.
So, hello everyone, hello YouTube, and hello viewers. I am Lord Takashi. I am a wolf Lord VTuber. I am a polyglot, speaking 20 languages, but I study 18 languages in progress. My pronouns are he and him, and my sexuality is homo. Arigatou gozaimasu. It's very nice to meet you all. It's a huge honor. And my birthday is just like around now in Japan time.
Around now. Yeah. So for the duration of this interview, Takashi will be busy also streaming this on his side because he is busy with a 24-hour live stream. So there's a chance that if you're listening to this on the audio and platforms and I have it up in time, he might actually still be live. So his links will all be on screen during the actual, the stream now.
Yes.
It's also in the description, and for the audio only, it's also in the show notes. But yeah, so with that, let's get this started, shall we? So Takashi, what's your lore? I know you've got I think out of all of my guests, you've probably got one of the most extensive lores, for what I know, maybe.
My lore is very, very huge, where it's super complex. So it might not be understandable at first, but like if you know references such as JRPGs, most likely Final Fantasy, Ruby. There's
Ruby?
many shows like the Rooster Teeth Ruby.
Yeah.
Why?
Ruby's a good show. I enjoy that.
I love Ruby, and so the lore is that like it's broken down into 4 parts so far, just to reference it to Ruby number because 4 teams, groups of 4, and so my lore is that it's about like where I start off as a samurai, and I was planning. I'm going to be the next daimyo for the Sotodate army, and I have my father who's gonna do the ceremony or whatever that he was going to crown me to as the next daimyo. And in my family is that there's my father, and the other parent is that like is also another father because the other father is transgender FTM. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
LGBTQIA plus.
Hey,
Yes, please.
let's get some representation in there. Hell yeah.
Exactly. And so what happened is that by the time I was about to be appointed as the feudal lord of the army, out of nowhere, there was a dragon appearing out of nowhere, out of the sky, and causes destruction in my time period. And my time period is like unknown because the fact is that I lost my memories like eventually, and that it was summoned by supposedly the Chaos as a reference to Final Fantasy. For those who like Final Fantasy, Chaos is the one of those the main villains that you very known for, such as like the Final Fantasy 1, the like Garland as Chaos. So it's a typical theme.
I've had many people on so far who have been very into Final Fantasy. Actually, I think my last guest that I had, the episode just before this, I had Domi Wolf on, and yeah, he's also I had Domi on, and he's also really attached with Final Fantasy 14. I think it's 14. Yeah, I believe it's 14.
Oh yeah, Final Fantasy 14 online.
Yeah. I think he said he's been playing it for like 8 years.
Oh my god.
Or however old the game is.
Long.
That's how long.
Yeah, several years because it's like been so ongoing ever since around Reborn. And so because of the fact I have the Chaos, my main father uses his magic with the spell with that magic with the K because of Final Fantasy 12 reference. That he uses his magic to teleport me to another world in time period. And what happens that during I was transported to another world, which is the one where I'm at right now, is that I get separated into 4 parts of me, similar to like I think there's a Legend of Zelda one that it gets separated into 4 links.
All right,
that was from the anniversary one.
Yeah,
that's the reference. And so what happens that there's 4 different kinds of me's. They all share the same name of Takashi Sotodate. But however, they all have their own personalities and their own appearances. So, for example, the one you see me right now, I started initially with black hair because I'm majorly starting to lose memories, and that's as a con part of being transported to another world. And then what happened is the only way for me to regain my memories is to find the crystal shards. That's
you have to collect the Infinity Stones.
Yeah, just like in Final Fantasy, you get to collect the crystals, just like the 1 and 5. There's like earth, wind, fire, water, and each shard represents a cosplay. So in my own world, the cosplay is where it's also known as a job class for me. So right now, I'm cosplaying as Mutsuno Kami, and because of how I gained the crystal shard, I remember some of the memories about myself, the original myself, and that way it'll help me to find my way back to where I can find the chaos and the dragon to fight. And I had to meet up with my all other versions of me to fight against and save the universe. So I am known as the Shinku no Okami, aka as Crimson Wolf.
Oh yeah.
So I represent for the red color, similar to Ruby Rose.
Yeah.
You notice.
Yeah. So going with that, since you have that connection, I'm assuming the others will be white and yellow and black. Well, you already mentioned the black and now the red, so I'm assuming then
exactly
white and yellow.
Yes, and that's a perfect. See, you get exactly.
See, I get it. Yeah, I watched Ruby. I've never played Final Fantasy, so not gonna lie, a lot of the stuff, even in the previous episodes, I think just so that I can relate with my guests more, I think I should play Final Fantasy at some point. But I don't know. It's not my type of game, so I'm not sure if I'll enjoy it. Maybe not. We'll have to see. But yeah, at least with this one with Ruby, see, I get it.
So the thing is that, like, for the similarities is that each of my version, like right now, this is my first version. We each wield a weapon. For example, I wield a great sword. I can confirm that the white one wields a spear.
Ooh.
The black one wields the katana, and then the yellow version wields the twin axes. However, the twin axes looks like a sword, but however, if you form together, you get a bow. So he's a double wielded. He has a double weapon ish in some way, and because
I can see how Ruby would implement that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so to make it similar on my appearances, to make it similar as a Wolf Feeder Lord, we all shared the constellation Lupus Blood, where we all have the kimono meaning wolf ears and a tail. I don't have it right now because I'm stuck as a human form.
Oh yeah.
But right now I'm stuck as Mutsuno Kami Yoshiyuki from Token Rambu. So anything like related kind of characters who wield the similar or have affiliate colors, such as Muzukami's kimono, I can honestly attain that kind of cosplay and job class. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's nice. I like that. So, obviously, well, the next question that I had was going to be what were your biggest influences or inspirations for your design? But I guess we kind of already did that. But are there any specific ones you haven't mentioned yet?
In some way, for inspirations when it comes to design on my VTuber, is wolves. That's like one of the main ones because my favorite animal is a wolf. Yeah. And so the thing about myself is that I love husbandos. And there's so do I have the perfect VTuber for you? there's like I have a huge dog sheet where it like a mood board. It's like a mood board is basically where you put the details and put the character references of like who do you want to put it, like which character you want to put a piece or the outfit, and you get the there's a visual references as to, and there's like so many husbandos I can confirm. For example, there's Arataki Ito, there's I
know him.
Kami Yoshiyuki.
Don't know him.
Majority of the husbandos are from Ikemen series.
Oh, okay.
Yes, exactly. And then plus Ruby for the color reference. Yes. And then originally I had the black hair, and so on my first version, and so it's my inspiration from that PNG, according to my pin. If you guys look at my Twitter, it's
which is on screen and in the show notes and in the description.
Yes. So So the reference is that it's there's a color theme palette thing where Pokemon Monster Sword and Shield with Champion Leon. So if you take a look at the colors, that's where I got it from, Champion Leon. And I confirm for the white one is Gym Leader Pierce, and then the third one color reference was in reference to Gym Leader Raihan. And the fourth one is just random, because but more so likely towards Token Ranbu, because I don't know. I was thinking maybe like Volkna or Lieutenant Surge kind of thing, because yellow. Because in Sword of Shield, there's no yellow much affiliation, and then I believe that there's like I can name so many husbands like right now.
Go. Give me 10 in 10 seconds. Go.
Siegfried, Kairon, Achilles, Musuno, Kami. Oh my god.
What?
Myself. See? Myself. I count myself as a husband.
I'm a bit disappointed though. There's one you didn't mention.
And then you.
Okay, there we go.
See? That's bad.
See, okay.
You gotta make it.
Okay,
bad.
you didn't get 10 in 10 seconds, but you got me in there, so it's fine. I'll amend it.
I'm a himbo, that's why.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Himbos are wonderful. I love them. But yeah. Oh, sorry if you guys could hear that. That was my sausage, my dog. So.
大丈夫です.
Arigato gozaimasu. So, just before we move on to the next question, I'm curious. You said you're a polyglot. How many languages do you speak, and which languages do you speak?
Okay, so every single day I study 18 languages.
Damn.
However, we got English.
Yeah.
And then outside of it, from the studies, I partially learned a little bit of words from my clan of Tagalog, aka Filipino.
Oh, okay.
Filipinos are where you at.
I've got a bunch of Filipino friends. I don't know if they're here right now, but yeah.
Kamusta na?
That one.
So I never changed the order for all 18 languages, and I studied them via Duolingo because I want to be able to talk to my non-English speaking friends, as well as to try to be able to translate between English and any other languages such as Japanese, German, or wherever. And that way it doesn't have to be English only stream, you know what I mean? Because I don't like where it's like you have a rule and say, we speak in English only. And then that made me, it kind of disheartened me to think about it and while reflecting about myself, because I want to make a difference where I want to be able to speak to
anyone who comes into the chat.
While doing my best to translate. I don't want to make it excluding. And so the order, I always do it in order. I never change it. But if I do the lessons, and then I can always go back to whichever language I already did.
Yeah.
So I did so Spanish, German, Italiano, Francais, Nederlands, aka Dutch.
If you kan als je Nederlands kan praten, dan kan je misschien een beetje Afrikaans verstaan.
So you see, I'm a himbo, and the problem is about me is that I'm bad at verbal, whereas I can type better.
Yeah. If you to be fair though, so what I said just now is if you can understand Netherlands, then there's a chance that you might understand a little bit of Afrikaans. Since backstory about Afrikaans is it's a descendant from Dutch and English and German, all of those mixed in. Also a bit of Malay, and I think there's like one other. There's like a whole mix of languages. It's called the kitchen language, because it's just like all of the languages were thrown into a pot, and Netherlands was just the salt that was then added, and it's just. Too much salt was added, so Netherlands is the closest to Afrikaans you will get. So when speaking, if I'm speaking to a Dutch person, and they're speaking to me in Netherlands and I'm speaking in Afrikaans, we might be able to understand each other. We just have to speak slowly. But reading it is a lot easier. Reading it is a lot easier.
Takashi!
For me, it's like whoever is in my VC, please mute because I'm in an interview. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
And so anyway, thank you, my fans. Thank you. My fans is like, we love you. Sometimes it happens to me. Honestly, I swear. Every single time I stream, there's always a person who says hi. That says, "Hi, Takashi, I love you," and I'm like, "Why? I'm in the middle of important."
Hey, no worries, no worries.
So back to back to the 18 languages. So Spanish, German, Italiano, Francais, Netherlands, Korean, Nihongo, aka Japanese, Swedish, Norwegian, Greek, Navajo, Chinese, Czech, Turkish, Danish, Indonesian, aka Bahasa, Indonesian, where you at, my friends?
Selamat.
Then there's Esperanto, and then the last one is Vietnamese.
Damn, that's quite a lot.
It's very hard. It feels like, but like I'm used to the routine every single day because it feels like you get to use your muscle memory and get to study every single day and be able to understand each different languages and the similarities for example the Nordic languages like Swedish,
Svenska and Norska,
Norwegian, or in Swedish is Svenska.
I actually this is actually pretty inspiring for me because I've also wanted to be a polyglot previously, and I've started learning, but never finished. I've started learning Swedish, Irish, German, not Dutch because I was thinking Afrikaans is close enough, so I never actually learned Dutch. I started learning, I think, Italian maybe. I started learning Russian as well. So it's just like a whole bunch of languages like that. And the furthest I've gotten with any of my languages is with the Japanese. And that's just because of, the community and how much Japanese there is within it. And so it's kind of easier to learn it that way. But yeah, that's actually really, really fucking inspiring because I've never gotten far with any of my languages. But to mention that rule that you mentioned earlier with, it's like, people usually have that rule of like, hey, please, I only speak English, so please keep the chat English. I also kind of have that. I have it whereas if you can speak English or Afrikaans, feel free. And as with Japanese, please keep it in hiragana. I cannot read kanji to save my life. And neither can I do katakana, but hiragana I can at least do a bit.
Kanji is like one of the hardest when it comes to the
it's horrible.
Nihongo. However, it's not that bad. Like once you get to understand the context, Japanese is very context. However, I do know I have like the harder. There's more harder like the languages. I would know that's much harder to study. For example, Navajo, too many accents in different directions. Another one is Chinese because of the tone, and especially
I think Vietnamese is also pretty tough.
Vietnamese is pretty difficult to focus on Vietnamese unless you get to understand the context of the sentences per word on Vietnamese. And then there's what should I say? What's the next hardest one? I think that's a good question. Oh, Korean, the Hangul.
Oh,
Because every single time I study Korean on my Duolingo, I'm like, what? because of what? Because like, don't get me wrong. When it comes to the Hangul, or the Korean language, once I read the sentences or like try to pronounce each character, it's very hard to tell, even though the pronunciation is similar to Nihongo, in Japanese. The T and the D, and the L and the R. And then that's where it's like, oh, super hard. Like I cannot ever get into the sentence stages. I have to like keep repeating the 3-letter characters, the 2-letter characters. It's super hard, especially that there's the double letters. And
double letters.
I think that there is a double letters, like a double S, for example, and a double K.
Which I guess in that case it like changes the sound or how you should pronounce it, or maybe the intonation, or like
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I think that like when I got to know like for the Nordic languages, it got much easier. Actually, one of the easiest one like for non-English it would be Netherlands, because of how I've been studying Deutschland, and well, since I know English, there's a bit a mix of German and English.
Yeah.
Together for Netherlands.
Actually, in the week I watched a video about like the 5 easiest languages for native English speakers to learn, and Dutch was number 5 on that list, and Afrikaans was actually 3rd on that list.
Oh, really?
And actually, if you do know Dutch already, you'd have such an easy time learning Afrikaans. Same with, and vice versa.
Oh, that's pretty much like like you get the gist of it, like when it comes to similar languages. Especially the language of origin.
Yeah, it's also just like with, if you know Dutch or Afrikaans, you'd be able to understand German easier because all 3 of them are Germanic languages. So they're all in the same family. Same as with how Norwegian and Swedish. I don't think you can say the same. The relationship between Norwegian and Swedish relates to those 2 versus Danish or Finnish. I think those 2 are completely different.
Exactly. I think that.
But yeah.
I think one language that may be a relatively difficult would be Danish because of the pronunciation. I'm like trying to repeat it over and over, and I know for the fact it's most likely relative to the Nordic languages. Like queen. AKA a woman, Whereas for Swedish or Svenska, you got kvinna.
Kvinna, yeah.
And the Norwegian, you got it's much easier when I got to the Norwegian part, as by the time I got to add more languages to my studies. And I think one of my favorites, my new favorites, will be Indonesian, because I get to understand the sentence structure and how I keep understanding the pronunciations. The pronunciations are one of my favorites when it comes to studying the words. Especially same for Nihongo. Japanese is my main favorite because of how I got to get it. As long as I get to know the romaji, then I'll be able to pronounce it. Each Japanese word.
Same, yeah. If you can give me like a whole sentence in Romaji, I can read that. In fact, I did a karaoke yesterday, and I had 2 Japanese songs in there, and I had to use the Romaji lyrics to guide me, but I could at least do that.
So, fun fact about like for the term of karaoke is that I know it's a Japanese word.
Yes.
However, the more proper way to say karaoke is the Japanese way, aka
karaoke.
Karaoke.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't say that the ego version.
Oh, the
English
karaoke.
Version,
Yeah.
Karaoke. It feels more improper.
Yeah. Most of the time I say karaoke, or at least I try, but sometimes it slips. I think it's like since I learned the English word first, it's like you need to recondition yourself to say karaoke instead of karaoke, and I've tried, but every now and then you let it slip, because if you need to constantly think about this thing, you will eventually some point just let it slip by accident.
I think that like when it comes to Japanese, I really love how I get to know each sentence, and by the time I each understand the words as time goes by on each new topic, and each repeating the lessons that I'm doing, go all the way to legendary with the purple crown thing, because I want to be able to understand Japanese when it comes to big VTuber groups like DJ
Like
Sanji. I
Hololive
do
and
look up.
Sanji, yeah.
I look up to DJ Sanji the most because of one of my favorites is Ex Abio, and then my new favorite is Luxium, believe it or not, with Mysterious.
Mysterious, yeah.
I Evelyn, Luca Kanashiro,
Vox Akuma.
Vox Akuma.
Vox Akuma's voice.
then-
So I've got a tiny bit of a story about Vox Akuma's voice, right? So when Vox debuted, me and a bunch of friends, we thought that we actually know the guy behind it, because we thought it was one of our close friends, because he had not been streaming in a while. He'd been like radio silent on all social media and stuff for like a while, and like at least around like August or November, around there. And Vox's voice sounds extremely similar to this friend's, and we were like, "Yo, is this a friend?" And we were like trying to figure out. We were stuck for like 3 days. We were like, every day Vox streamed, we were like, "Yeah, no, this has got to be." So it's like we initially started at like 50%, then we found more similarities and stuff where it's like, this one time Vox started streaming just as this friend went offline on Discord, and they were in like the same kind of time zone. They streamed at the exact same times, because on our friend's Twitch he had streams scheduled at 9 p.m. my time, and Vox started streaming at 9 p.m. my time the same day. The friend's stream didn't start. There are no VODs on his Twitch. His Twitter has been empty for a while, and we were just like, "Yo, dude, it's gotta be him." We like every day. It's like the percentage of certainty went up and up and up until one day where it just dropped to 0 because Vox was live and our friend was in a Discord call, and I just hopped in there and I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I have Vox's stream open and I have the Discord call open on my other screen, and I'm just like, it can't be him. You can't play Dark Souls, speak to chat, try and speedrun this bitch, and fucking speak to me at the same time as I'm asking you questions and stuff at the same time. You can't do that. So we were then just like, alright, confirmed, it's not him. Debunked. We're good.
I think I was trying to figure out at times to see like if I can figure out if I find any clues or like get to know the origins about any of the VTubers, or like Pomu. And I think a friend of mine was like, he probably knows Pomu beforehand, and the speculation is that like the I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about Pomu, but or Niji Sanji, but like it's about
it's free.
I mean, hey, I can talk about whoever I want. Yeah, I mean, I think that there was about how he knows Pomu beforehand, and he thinks that like she used to be a ghost VTuber. On what he told me. That's the only main thing I know the possible origin about Pomu before she became herself.
Yeah.
Like debut wise. Other than that, I'm like, I don't know who each of them are.
Yeah. Point is, they make good content, and you want to support them.
And then when it comes to Niji Sanji, it's like I got very curious the most to Ex Abio, because of how I'm trying to like get to know his content, like via clips, like how he tried to speak English, and how funny he is. And then I got to know how some of the other Niji Sanji people like share their experiences with their auditions, because I want to be able to audition for Niji Sanji, which is why I've been mainly studying Japanese or Nihongo. And then that's where like I want to be one of the first VTubers to be a polyglot, as well as represent myself for the LGBTQIA plus, which is because I'm a homo. I'm just pretty much proud of myself, and like I want to be still very confident and keep practicing on my confidence every single day, because that's one of the most advice I heard about from Luca one time at one of his streams, where he had to talk about Q&A, and he shared his advices that like you gotta keep having your confidence.
Yeah, I
Because
think I actually watched that
Mhm.
because I did audition for this last wave.
Same for
But,
prior
yeah.
to Roxium.
Yeah.
However, I lost.
Yeah, no, don't worry. I didn't. I don't think if I go to my YouTube studio and I look at the unlisted video, I think it's still only on one view, which was me when I was making sure that the video uploaded properly. So they didn't even see my application as far as I know. So
Same.
yeah.
I think the fatal mistake for me for my application was that I submitted mine with the 4 minute and 59 seconds instead of the 5 minute one, which is that's one of the fatal mistakes. And then another fatal mistake is that is not submitting the how fast your internet is. It's one of what they're trying to show your download speed or
Yeah.
whatever. And
Wait, did it
like,
have to be exactly 5 minutes?
It has to be 5 minutes.
Oh damn! Well, I think mine was like around 3 minutes.
Mine was like 4 minutes and 59 seconds because I was trying to go for the exactly 5 minutes. And
I
then
mean,
I know.
You could always
I
just
thought-
edit it a bit in like afterwards in like whatever editing software you use, and just like add like a second of empty space right at the end of the video, like just black screen right at the end.
You also gotta make sure there's like you know how to make edits such as thumbnails and video edits just in case because
Oh, I mean,
because I listened to Mr.'s spaces like that he just did very recent, and that he was making the thumbnail because that means that it indicates you gotta make sure you make your thumbnails and like gotta make some content on your stuff.
I mean, I've been
Importantly.
streaming on YouTube for like over a year by now. So, and before that, in 2018, I was also making like
Same.
actual YouTube video content. So I've got that part at least down. I can make a thumbnail for like if I'm late to a stream that I haven't scheduled yet, I can get the stream up in like 10 minutes.
That's where I had to focus on my own content because I gotta make sure one, I do it consistently every single week and every single month, and that way I can be able to show any past VODs for AnyColor Inc. I
Yeah.
think that's what the company is.
Yeah, AnyColor.
And then
Wait, didn't they
then
rebrand
that-
to just color?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. I think I saw something about them rebranding at that point, but I don't remember. Not gonna lie.
I thought it's AnyColor.
It used to be AnyColor, but I do think they did
Oh.
rebrand or rename into just color.
Oh.
Let
I
me
did not know that.
just fact check myself because yeah. Oh no, they are still AnyColor. AnyColor,
And then-
I think.
So eventually, I do want to like at least practice on singing because the fact that I do know when it comes to debuting in the genre, you gotta have you gotta sing. But even I know for the fact that Vox and Mr. They cannot sing. They admitted they can't sing well, and they cannot. They don't feel confident with singing well in front of their super chat fans, and so I gotta make sure I am prepared when it comes to working on my vocals and working on my voice, and that's where I need to make sure I do it as well as not just only during stream, maybe most likely offline, because I want to make it too private.
Oh yeah.
And that's where I've been working so busily on my content and stuff for the past over a year,
Yeah.
because I did not know I did not do any debut yet because I'm still working on my models, and
Yeah.
I will debut with all four versions of my character, the red, white, black, and yellow.
Damn. All four at once.
I'm going very daring, very 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 daring. For
You can
example,
try the thing where I don't know if you know, but VTube Studio has the thing where you can like open multiple windows. So if you really want and use the same, you just single tracking, but you can use like different models. So you can actually try and see if you can open 4 different windows of VTube Studio, or 4 different instances rather, and then you can have all 4 different models open at once for your debut, and then
Oh, that would be Pong. But then again, you got to factor in such as like the RAM and the gig.
It actually VTube Studio isn't that intensive. It's only the tracking, and that's on this on the CPU.
That's fair.
And with the way that VTube Studio does that is it uses just one tracking instance on all 4. So all 4 models will be tracked exactly the same. So say if you move your head to the left, all 4 models will look to the left. If you speak, all 4 models' mouths will move at the exact same time. Which means you could actually kind of do like an echo effect, so it sounds like all 4 are speaking at the exact same time. A layer.
Takashiception, y'all. Takashi Inception.
Hell yeah.
Just debut all at once. No, just kidding. That'll be like too much stressful. But I will do debut on all 4 of my versions separately each. Yeah. Because one, I do want to do like one of them have get a 3D model. Ooh. I want to make myself a very different and unique comparing to all other VTubers out there in the community. Yeah. I do know there's Iron Vertex. I know there's the VTuber groups like Nichisanji and Hololive, Holo Stars. Yes, you gotta include Holo Stars.
Yeah, we don't skip out on our Holo Stars boys here. Cover might, but we don't.
I gotta love my boss, my boy, Kageyama Shien boss. Fun fact about my when it comes to boss Kageyama is that like in some reference way is that I have a mascot named Shinkushi. If you get to know my name Takashi, and my nickname is Shinku no Okami, aka Crimson Wolf. Yeah. Smash the Shinku plus the Takashi, it's Shinkushi, because of boss Kageyama and Nekoyama. That's the reference.
Okay, I see. Speaking of Holostars, boys, so I'm assuming that that Shien is then your favorite.
Yes, he's been my main favorite because of his bundles. Usually, I was very curious when it comes to becoming a VTuber, looking at the male VTubers, such as Boss and Xabio, and then eventually Luxion. Yeah. That's where I want to be one of the first husbandos to be debuting with all 4 models in the same year. And never done Iron Vertex. I ain't gonna do Iron Vertex.
Iron Vertex is too expensive.
It's too expensive.
I mean, hey, you've got the quality and the name to it, but it's so expensive. I've looked at them and it's like, I do rigging, so I look up to their people and I try and learn from them. And I've had some contact with some Iron Vertex riggers and being able to study from them.
I'm looking at the prices and then all from Iron Vertex, and then all of a sudden slowly backs out. With Homer Simpson.
Like the Homer Simpson into the hedge. Yeah, just because you come out of the hedge, you look at the prices, you just slowly go back into the hedge.
And then my reaction was the Lisa Simpson just looking down on the prices pause moment. Because what the heck, $4,000. That's for me to handle the things like finances. Necessities, man.
I ain't got that cash.
I gotta do gas, insurance, VTubing, and VTubing necessities. Even my the regular models. Super fancy. I get the gist of why the super fancy one. But huge money, man. We gotta make sure you guys save your money. Please save your money for more appropriate one. If you really want to go for Iron Vertex, you really gotta make sure you really save your money, tons of them. Yeah. Just put it into your piggy bank, whatever. Don't spend it on for things for funsies or such as games or.
Stop buying skins in Valorant or Apex.
or super chats.
That's the quickest way that you can start saving money. Stop buying skins.
Don't even spend money on super chats as well.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a rumor is that the super chats are free.
Super chats are free. You can just send a normal chat.
So super chat is free. No, just
Yeah,
kidding.
my super chats are free. You're right. In fact, it's so free you don't even have the option.
There's a Aka spa, for example. There's an owl
Yeah,
spa.
there is one Akasupa you can get, and it's down below. You see that it's got a big old red button. It says subscribe. Although if you haven't clicked it, you can't chat. You can't really chat because lately. So I've had to start putting my chat in sub only mode because lately, for like over the last 2 months, there's just been I kind of want to call it a pandemic of just bots coming in and posting links.
the bots when it comes to like the huge raids.
No, at least it's not like raid quality. It's just like if I would do my stream.
Spam.
Yeah, it's just like a bot would come in, post a single message, and then never be seen again.
Or one of those bots where it's like just appearing one of those the unsay so.
No, not even.
spamming.
The bots on YouTube here, at least the ones that I've encountered. It's just they've got like a normal person's name, and then like no profile pic or whatever, and then they just paste something like vask.tech, but they'd have it spaced out so that it's not seen as a link, but it's basically like a link. And if you copy that and paste it, something will happen. I don't know. I haven't done it, but I looked it up after the first time, and it was like, why you should not click these links? And I was just like, alright, yeah, you're a bot. Ban. And ever since I've put it in sub only mode, I've not gotten them because they don't subscribe. Bots don't sub.
The funny thing about me when it comes to the bots is that like I do know that like here in Twitch, I do stream at Twitch. Eventually, I do want to stream on YouTube and get YouTube partner because I look up to Luxium the most as of now.
Yeah.
And I never really seen any bot raids or any actual
Wait, do you mean on Twitch or on YouTube?
On Twitch wise, because like every time I stream, I'm like, no bots. And then when it comes to like me visiting my friends, it's like, oh, they have a bot. Bots. And so, bots. Otherwise, just one of those want to buy it, want to buy a follower or something. And I click on this, and I'm like, oh, that never happens to me. It's a funny thing. I don't think I ever recall a time. I'm like, I guess I'm just that unique and special.
Yeah, for the longest time, I also didn't have like any run-ins with bots. Like I probably had just 5 encounters over the year of streaming until my comeback. Like right after I had my 1-year anniversary and I debuted my 2.0 debut with this model. Only then did the bots start coming, and I was just like, why? You guys are new. I've never seen these bots before, and they're so fucking annoying. Like my Stream Elements bot, I set it up so that it can catch them, but they changed that link like semi-constantly. So the one I remember the most is VASK space TECH. So that's Fast Tech, and that's the one that I banned. And I used Stream Elements' thing where it's like use this as a regular expression, which means like stuff similar to this will also get banned. So by the way, if you guys want to get banned, just type that in chat and the bot will automatically fucking just bonk ya. There'll be timed out for 300 seconds. So yeah,
the big bonk, y'all.
Yeah, the big bonk.
Don't be super unsay so.
Yeah, no, don't be a troll. And we've had some experiences lately as well with trolls coming in, and that's also another reason why I've put it in sub only mode. So yeah, it's just annoying.
I never really put any sub only or as a far only in chats because I'm like nothing really happens while I'm gone.
What do you mean? Yours is in followers only now?
Because I'm like just nothing happens. So I guess I'm one of those lucky people. I'm just a himbo. I'm just vibing. I'm like, I'm vibing, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm just relaxing, just having fun streaming.
Yeah.
Streaming Genshin, you know, or streaming Fall Guys.
Yeah. Speaking of streaming, we should get back to the main question. So, what's your preferred content to stream? So, obviously, I know you've been doing this now. You streamed Jackbox just before this, but do you stream it regularly, or is it just for the birthday?
That's for the birthday thing,
okay.
because I was like, what should I play? That's for my birthday. Whereas for the main ones, I usually stream because since I have a new RAM and new gigabytes.
Yeah.
Yes, please, blessed. Tasukaru. I do love playing Genshin Impact, and then Final Fantasy. I do want to do. I want to order Final Fantasy 1 through 15 before Final Fantasy 16 comes out. I do know there's like expansions. I'm like, god dang it, there's DLCs for Final Fantasy 11 online and 14 online, and then not to mention like side quests, raids. I'm like, oh my god,
that's gonna take you a while to play through 1 to 14 or to 15.
And then not to mention, I also had to do I do want to do like a daring challenge of beating the spin-offs as well. Such as the After Years, Final Fantasy 4, and then there is the anime. Did you know there's an anime called, for example, the Final Fantasy Unlimited? It's an old school. That's where I had to like watch it on the outside from the stream because I'll get in trouble.
There's a Final Fantasy anime. I did not know that.
There is.
Funnily enough, now that you mentioned you didn't watch it on stream, I think Devin Nash, I don't know if you know him, he released a video, I think just today or yesterday, of this new wave of big streamers, like the top, like the top streamers, like top 10 and whatever, that they've been streaming like Hell's Kitchen and full-on movies like Lord of the Rings and stuff like MasterChef and TV series and porn stars, Guild Wars, not Guild Wars, what's it called? It's Storage Wars, stuff like that. People have been streaming that, just watching that on their streams, and he made a really good point in like, the reason why people haven't been getting the MCA strikes yet is most likely because those companies are building one massive case so that they could just annihilate everyone at once, take them directly to criminal lawsuits. Because the thing is, when it comes to DMCA violations, right? If you are a repeat infringer and you are willfully distributing that content and profiting off of it, it's a criminal offense, and they will sue you for it, and it can go up to, I think it's a $25,000 like fine or something, if it's not a criminal lawsuit and you don't do time for it.
That's why you gotta make sure you keep your content appropriate, yo.
Yeah, so people are
unless
like...
if you want to do, unless if you want to do like on Say So, that's where you can do it outside, like Discord.
Yeah, I mean, I've hosted a couple of watch parties and stuff, but it's like, the thing is, it's private, and hosting like a watch along on your Discord channel or server or whatever, you're not profiting from it, so at least
exactly,
like, you are still violating DMCA, I guess, because you're sharing it, but you're not profiting off of it at least, so it's not criminal.
It's more towards it's just more into more private.
Yeah,
and you're just not showing it on the stream. And
even then, they won't have a case against you if people don't like, if it's just like in a Discord call and you share it here. Like, say if I wanted to watch The Witcher on Netflix now, which I did, and I screen shared it in Discord, which I did because I watched it with a friend of mine. It wouldn't be.
When it comes to like the Netflix, I used to love like marathoning Voltron.
Oh yeah,
Legendary Defender, and then that's where I was like, and I think that's where like it hit me. When it comes to like loving the characters, and then I think that I tangent off towards the animes, such as Kuroko no Basket, Kuroko's basketball. Yeah, I love Kuroko's basketball. One of my favorite animes.
And then not to mention, but I've heard good things about it.
Oh, I think one of my favorite animes is like Fruits Basket. That's where it's like it gets so dark at sometimes, and like, Hatsuharu is my favorite character in the Fruits Basket because of how he's bisexual, and I'm like,
Hell yeah, husbando, right there. Add him to the list.
It's like I have a husbando rating when it comes to anime characters, and especially when it comes to VTubers in general. Not that long ago, I used to do the male VTuber tier list. That's where I was like, and then there's like gone tier.
I don't think I've known you before then.
Yeah, that's where I was like,
Damn.
I was starting to get into the streaming, and what happened to my tier list is that I make sure I deep dive every single VTuber in my VTuber tier list, show their content and share my tips and advices. And for example, if you're like you want to do VTubing, just make sure you do like provide hashtags. Make sure you gotta add your sources in your bio link, or like such as card, and especially for Twitch or YouTube, you gotta make sure you have panels for Twitch. As a Twitch streamer, please make sure you add panels, and please make sure your icons and like arts and similar don't make it like too much that's the same. Otherwise, it's gonna make it towards a more bland. You know what I mean? That's where.
Luckily on YouTube, I don't have to worry about getting Twitch panels and sorting that out. I just have a description.
But then again, you got the banner to be fair, and then you got to also factor in the icons as well, because you got to make sure you look very presentable, not only just on YouTube, and then as well as on TikTok, Twitter, the Instagram or Discord. I mean, Discord you can just do whatever.
I mean, I
still.
always like keeping like kind of like a theme to my things, and I do enjoy the side of branding of creating a brand and keeping that brand.
And then for like if you want to get into the VTubing stuff, just invest in like getting the PC parts. Like if, for example, I use a laptop, and hey, it's at least something I can have. And then if you want to do like a PC computer, by all means, same vice versa with the laptop. You also gotta have to like make sure you have a mic as well. And I'm planning to get like another monitor, because a lot of people
Dual monitor
are planning to do dual monitor game. I do recall one of the Luxia members in their lore have a dual monitor. I think Ike even has it.
I've got a dual monitor set up right now.
I need a dual monitor, because that way I can look at the chat.
Honestly,
look left and right.
It makes life so much easier. I was like, if I want to start streaming, I need to have a dual monitor set up, because I don't. If I want to be able to look at chat, I can't tab out of my games. So right now, usually the way I do things, right, I have my game on my main screen, which is directly in front of me, and then my old screen, which is now my second screen. I just chuck my OBS over there, and my OBS has my chat, my preview, and everything in there, and then I can just look at it there. Yeah.
I do gotta say that for the future of VTubers, dual monitor is one of the best things that you really should have as a VTuber in general. Especially when it comes to like if you need some help with like VTubing, you can always ask me though, like for any advices or tips, or at least like if you want to ask me for contents or like advices, or like get to know your character. There's also like, for example, I make sure my hashtags are unique and not used by anyone. Because that's where like I got to know Niji Sanji VTubers hashtags and their content.
Yeah,
they had their hashtags different than anyone else's, unless if it's like it's a hashtag that's already used many years ago. Then that's fine too.
It's so like with mine as well. So my art tag is just hashtag Zara Art, which initially when I was thinking up my hashtags, I was like Zara Art. I don't think that's been used. So I just checked it up. There's been like 1 or 2 posts since like 2014 of just the one post is literally just like Zara print, like the store, like, you know, they have like a wrapping kind of, and it's just like the Zara logo on that gold wrapping in black font, and that's it. That's the whole post, and I'm just like, I'm gonna use that hashtag for myself. Thank you very much.
I think I need to, like, by the time that I debut, I need to think of like the English version when it comes to mine, because I have my hashtags on, and most likely in Japanese or Nihongo. Because like, if you, for those who don't know what my Japanese hashtag means, that one of them is like Okami, and then the other one is just my name is just Sotodate Takashi. I think it should be that way. It's in kanji, and then that's where like then there's like a general, there's the end of the W, there's the art. I always make sure like I keep mine organized. I think I do need to make English versions so that like maybe like more to something unique, something or like kawaii.
Or you could use something that like
something
combines the Japanese and English.
Exactly, like for example, like a Okami art, or like
Okami list.
my name. Yeah, and then like or my name in kanji, and then just input live. Because then if you combine two different languages, the odds are it's just that you're likely gonna see no tweet.
Yeah.
That's a pro tip for those like who want to combine the languages for hashtags, y'all. That's how I do it. There's also like how I follow for like to create a better content is I follow one of my inspirations. I mean English VTuber inspirations like Artsy Grandpa. Shout out to Artsy Grandpa because like he has the VTuber camp thing where you do make sure it helps you get settled to be a VTuber. And then once I get to know like one of my friends who is like an admin who's in charge of it, it's like I get to know like how you get trained, how you can get better advices. I always get advices from my friends at times because sometimes I feel like I want to be alone or I'm having anxiety. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've had that.
That's where I need to have better motivation and better more confidence, because if you get like for example anxiety, you gotta build up your confidence and self-motivation to become a better VTuber, because otherwise how are you going to be able to network with your friends or network with other people? How are you going to be able to collab?
Yeah, I've had that experience when it comes to like burnout. So I've taken 2 breaks in my year of streaming. Only 2 breaks. One was like a week off, and then the other one was like almost an entire month off. I think I took the entire month of what's just before October. It's like almost the whole of October, and then just before August. So it's like half of August and 3/4 of October. I took off because I started feeling burnout, and also at that time I was very what's it called? I had a lot of rigging work that I had to do, and I also wanted to get to my own model, this one that's on screen now, before my 1-year anniversary, which was October 29th. And yeah, it's burnout is not the fun thing, and if you're burned out and you just keep streaming and you have no motivation, it's not fun to watch.
Then your content is going to be more bland, and there's going to be less people to watch. And hiatus is not that bad, and it's okay to take a break and self-caring yourself. Even I had to take a break because the fact that I had one time in the summer I was vulnerable to be having anxiety. I had to admit it, and it's that like because when it comes to the community and when it comes to your friends, that's where I had to think about myself with friends. That's where it led to me to having a hiatus towards just working on my own content and just working on my confidence every single day. And then I don't want it to show my anxiety feels in front of people, because I don't want them to be a burden or have my emotions be shown in public. Otherwise, you're gonna lose friends. That's a fact. Because if you're gonna show your anxiety like more often, or like you're gonna show your toxic or your emotional problems, like such as oh, I got my finance going on, or I'm having problems with my family, just keep it to yourself.
Yeah,
Or
it's fine speaking to your friends about it, about like issues that you have, if they're okay with it. But if you're just gonna constantly speak about it without like having like a confidant and where they're fine with it, you might eventually be seen as like a mood dampener, and people might not want to hang out with you as much anymore or stuff like that. So taking a break is not a bad thing.
It's definitely not a bad thing. If it happens, I took a break about a few times in a row last year. One for like because I want to become a VTuber, and then the second part because the fact that like I want to make sure I feel okay in terms of my emotions when it comes to like friendships among the community. And then the third one because of the fact I'm starting to I was noticing that my model that that's supposed to be ready for debut is starting to go slow because of that. It needs more RAM. That's where I need to just make sure my health is okay and my emotions are okay to be stable for debut and towards for better motivation and towards a better networking in general.
Yeah, and also it's like a thing that I've seen is like whenever a VTuber friend of mine or when I have to like announce, we have to take a break, it's the support is usually there. People won't be like, oh no, why are you stopping to create content? Oi, get back to fucking making videos or stuff. And it's like you always see this, especially with like the bigger YouTubers as well. Like say for example Markiplier or Jacksepticeye. They're people I've looked up to since like since the dawn of YouTube, I guess, or rather since the dawn of us getting internet. That could support me actually watching YouTube on the daily. And it's like if they announce they need to take a break, there are always some of those people that are like, no, you're not allowed to take a break, you need to keep making content. But the vast majority of all audiences are like, yes, please, you take a break if you need it. Your health always comes first, because if you're down in the ditch, you're not going to be able to make fun content. Your audience isn't going to enjoy it. In the end, it's going to be a detriment to everybody involved, but even more so to you, because you're going to keep wanting to push for making content. You need to stay consistent. I want to be on the algorithm, all that. But you're gonna burn yourself out. You're gonna you won't be able to make quality content, and yeah, it's gonna end up not being fun.
Agreed. Like that's what I would honestly say that when it comes to like if any of my friends who would talk to me like are needing for like vent, I would honestly just tell them just to work on themselves, just lay off from social media, just keep away from doing like just venting out loud in public, such as Twitter. Don't do it.
Don't vent.
Don't do venting because like for example tweet longer. No, don't do it. Because I've seen many times in Twitter before. That's where I was like, I think like I did it once before, and I was like, no, I gotta lay off from Twitter longer because I feel like it's a toxic.
whenever I see a tweet longer, I'm like, what's this drama? It's like honestly, as far as I've seen, twit longer is like only used for drama. I've seen like 2 or 3 instances where it's like it's actually something important, and then otherwise, it's just if you see a twit longer link and the heading is like a bit sus, it's like just don't get into it.
What I notice in this community is that there's always a toxicity or negativity in this community, drama. and that makes me disheartening. But at the same time, that's where I reflect on myself, or when it comes to like unique and different. Because back to about the male VTuber tier list, that I did every single VTuber about the content, do deep divings. That's where, and I also did the part where I streamed. One time I did complimenting every single VTuber from like whoever liked this post, you get to receive a compliment from me. And that's where I I was like tweeting about each person or a friend of mine that like who's interested to receive a compliment, because I think that like I want to make a difference uniquely in this community by doing like just sharing your my positivity thoughts. So like, I like your model, you sound amazing, I like your IRL selfie, it's okay to share your selfie, I love it, and your content is amazing. I especially enjoy looking at clips, your VODs. And as a matter of fact, there's also like a couple or a few people who felt so pretty emotional, where they say they're like, I felt the need of it, thank you so much. And I think that once I debut, I want to be able to do like the same. For example, since you interview me, I want to be able to do like interview other people. As like that's where I want. As well. Eventually, say you're one of my inspirations. In the future me will say that.
I'm honored. I've actually seen a lot of interview shows recently pop up. Just one of the guests that I invited. So I think it was yesterday or the day before, I went on like an invitation spree. I reached out to like almost 30 different VTubers, where I just asked them, hey, would you be interested in getting on the show? Same as how I did with you. And one of the people that responded said that day, in fact, just like an hour after I sent my message, she was invited to another interview as well. We set the same dates. I asked her, would you be available for February 11th? Because that's the first spot that I had open for her, and she was one of the earlier people to respond. So, yeah, it's just... Then I was like, okay, well, if she said that she wanted her on the 11th, then I can go for the 18th. Then she sent the screenshot. Yeah, no, sorry, they changed to the to the 18th. And I was like, oh, come on. Alright, you know what? Since she actually managed to schedule with you before me, I'll let her go first. I'll take you on the 25th if you're good with that. And she was like, yeah, that's perfect.
and then come by and was like, change again.
Oh, hopefully not.
God.
But even then, hopefully I've got enough people lined up to keep me busy for. Yeah, no, Oscar. Sorry, you guys could probably hear that. My sausage is... That sounds weird. My dog is yawning. It's hot as fuck right now. It's loud.
I love dogs.
Yeah.
I gotta love dogs.
Yeah, I know.
And cats
the people in my community know Sausage very well by now. Just yesterday I posted some photos of him because it's so damn hot right now. Because we're like in the middle of summer. Today it hit like 30. It was supposed to hit 38 degrees Celsius. That's like, I think, exactly 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And yeah, it's just so hot. It's like 11 p.m. right now, and it's still 24 degrees Celsius.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
I think about the time like I want to do like a interview in the future. I want to do like the different varieties of VTubers. Especially if they have different genders, or especially or their sexuality, or especially if they're very small. I don't want to do like be similar to, for example, Domo already got thanks since he's one of the most popular individuals in the community. I want to do like just do variety to make it more fair and towards to make it my stream look like a talk show or whatever,
like this,
so that it's more entertaining. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the same idea I had. Like I Domo Arga Thanks was one of my inspirations as well for doing the show, because like I knew he did it as well, and I've hopped into just a couple streams of that where he did that, but I can't usually catch them. I can't really catch them that often because time zones. But I think a bigger inspiration for me, and especially set-wise, like looking at the overlays that I have now, is just the normal talk shows, like the late night shows, like say with Jimmy Kimmel or Stephen Colbert, or
Or Jimmy
those things,
Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon. Yeah, so it's like I used all of those as inspiration for the set design, which was done by a great friend of mine, Michi. Her stuff is also down below. All of my credits, everybody who's ever done anything for me for the stream, all their credits are down below in the description. But yeah, so
Yeah, that's why I want to do interviews, and that's the ones that you mentioned. That's where I exactly want to do when it comes to like interview. I also wanted my main inspiration when it comes to interviews is Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh yeah.
Because every single time I end the stream, I always tell my community at the end of my stream saying, because remember everyone, please be kind to another. Which is Ellen DeGeneres' go-to phrase at the end of her show.
Yeah,
and that's where I got it from every single time.
It's like one of the South African content creators or YouTube streamers that I learned of first when it came to YouTube streaming, like back in, I think it was somewhere between 2015 and it was in my high school years, so it's definitely after 2015, before 2019. And he always has a outro when he closes his videos or his streams. He'd be like, high five a stranger. Which is pretty cool.
Oh my god.
And I actually got to meet him once. He had like a get together, and he lives in the same city that I do. So he had like a meetup at a burger restaurant kind of thing. And yeah, it's actually pretty cool.
Oh, never heard of it.
And we did a sponsored MSI video with him, with like a game show quiz kind of thing. And I walked away with an MSI hat and an MSI t-shirt.
Oh, consolation prize.
Yeah,
I do.
I didn't win.
When it comes to foreign stuff, I usually love food, especially different varieties. I do love Japanese, not like a seafood. I don't like seafood, except for if it's like fish sticks or certain sushis. Certain sushi wise, I love this called California roll, which is an American thing where it has like an imitation crab or something. That's one of my favorites. It's like a typical common thing.
I'm very picky about my sushi.
And yes, I'm a picky eater in general. I don't like having like condiments. When it comes to like, for example, burger, there is tomatoes or mustard. I don't like those. I'm more just a plain. I'm more like a vanilla type.
Yeah.
I mean, dessert wise, I love chocolate. I'm a chocoholic. More
chocolate's great.
Vanilla. And then when it comes to like drinks, I love tea. Like one of my go-tos is like passion tea. It's very fruity. I think you can usually also get passion tea from Starbucks as well.
I'll have to see. I know we don't have boba. We don't have boba in South Africa. Nothing.
Boba is one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's so popular in the VTuber community, and it's just like I always hear of all my friends and whoever just like getting like, hey, I got this boba and I got that boba, and it's like, hey, I'm gonna go out to get boba or something. And I'm just like, we don't have that. I've mentioned this so many times on these episodes already on my show, and it's like the people by now, whoever has listened to how many episodes, it's like it's almost in every episode we talk about boba and South Africa's lack thereof.
The funny thing when it comes to drinks on me is, even though like I'm a feudal, I love boba, but I don't really drink that much because I'm very very used to tea, which is one of the typical things when it comes to Japanese culture. I always love tea. Coffee wise, I don't know, because I'm not much of a coffee type. I mean, to be fair, I drank French vanilla cappuccino one time, but I do love, as long as it has a flavor, tasteful type, especially like fruity, I won't mind it. But I'm not like a fan of coffee because of caffeinated. In my defense,
I mean,
And then when it
I
comes to-
drink Monster on the daily, so.
I love water. I love dairy, like milk, chocolate milk.
Yeah, chocolate
there-
milk.
And then there's like what are the different types of drinks out there?
Yeah.
I'm not into sodas. I mean, I used to love them. One of my favorites of sodas is Dr. Pepper. And then, fun fact, like when it comes, I mean, like towards my my personal stuff, on like orange, orange, is like fun question. Do I drink orange juice with or without pulp? I drink it
Without the pulp. Oh.
Because I feel like if you drink it without pulp, that's basically you're just drinking orange water.
Yeah.
That's what Shuya
If it's got the pulp, you know it's actual orange juice.
It's an orange juice. And when it comes to without pulp, you can't convince me that it's basically pretty much just orange water.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like in the typical like a bottle or any kind of water.
Well, I think we've reached the end of the questions. There's like one more question that I have, which is how do you tackle motivation? To keep making content and like counter burnout. But we already kind of had that discussion.
And then again, there's two different types of motivations. One's like my personal, and then there's like more serious motivations. The serious motivation is that keep looking up to your idols, your inspirations, such as me looking up to Roxian, because I've been watching more streams like Vox or Lucas, and Mistas, and how funny they are. That's where I want to be able to do it similarly like them, but not like completely exactly the same as them.
Yeah.
And then keep myself do how I always study every single day. I wanted to make sure I do it as well as for other things every single day.
Yeah.
That way, like especially like for schedule. Because schedule is important. You gotta follow it, and especially more consistency stream. Just make some goals for sure, and which is why Nijisanji people have like what are your goals or what are your long-term goals? One of my long-term goals is like I want to reach Nijisanji. I want to become one of them, and that's why I like. What do the people do at their debut? Well, like one of the things says goals. I want to set my goals where I want to debut. I want to,
with all four models.
Keep reaching your desires. So don't go for the the funsies.
No.
And then for personal motivation is like what helps me to get going. One of the things is like I look at the husbando things, like husbando content, because I love husbandos, and I gotta have the things that I love, especially animals. Animals is one of my favorites. On the content wise, like to keep my emotions feel better. Like for example, cats. I think that for some reason when it comes to cats, I love looking at the wholesome content. Wholesome content helps me feel better, to relieve, and then for some strange reason I like to keep it going. Like whatever I'm working on busily, like such as my models, is listening to like just comfy music. For example, Animal Crossing, and then there's ASMR, or listen to my friends streaming, as long as it's not like too chaotic. If it's like an artist or an ASMR artist, such as my friends, or like Angel Steps, or or Ikumi Nasai, I love listening to those kind of things. Especially there's a cooking streams like my friend Easy Cuisine. Just watching how she cooks. Especially
maybe you can learn something. You can learn how to cook whatever she's making.
yeah, I just want to be able to just keep myself productive and just enjoy the content that I like, especially the yes, husbandos. I love looking at husbandos, especially if it's come to like yaoi.
Yeah.
I reading the comics as well, especially like the unseasonal. You know, I think that always feel the need every single day. I always feel the need of husbandos. Yeah, that's my personal motivation and serious motivation.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, with that, then I think we can open it up to, well, like we can continue talking now, but I think we can open up the Q&A section. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask in chat. And also, just while you guys are gathering your thoughts and thinking of questions you want to ask Takashi, if you have any,
I can handle burning questions, or I can handle any nonsense questions, or any funny ones.
yeah. So just a quick reminder to our audio-only listeners: this has been streamed live on my YouTube channel, which is in the show notes. My guest here is Sotodate Takashi. His links and socials and everything is also in the show notes. To the people watching it live right now, go check out Sotodate Takashi. I keep fucking up your.
I know why.
I keep saying
know.
Sotodate Takashi. I think even in my notes when I scheduled you, like on my personal notes on my calendar, I think there I said Sotodake, and up until today I would have said Sotodake, and then I was like, wait, it says Sotodate.
I always have like anyone scuffing my first or last name. Most likely my first name. Takashi,
Honestly, I can relate with that. People for some reason can't say Zarastro, right? So that's why I've always, I've always just said, yeah, just call me Zara. So because I mean it's easier, it's the easiest. Just call me Zara.
I do have a nickname, which is Wolf, because I feel like I feel so sentimental, and plus I'm a wolf VTuber, and just like why not Wolf? That's my nickname. If it helps for some people, a lot of people most likely get scuffs on Takashi, because one thing it could be like Tadashi or Takahashi, or I know there is Takahashi out there, like Tiz. Shout out to the coolers at Tiz. But it's Takashi.
Yeah.
Or if you want to do just Japanese, or however you like on Takashi. And then for Sotodate, it's very self-explanatory. It's just keep the pronunciation slower, if that really helps. Because
Sotodate.
You get like Sotodate. I know it has date because I'm not related to Date Masamune. I'm not related to him. Because otherwise you're baka. Just because I have date in my last name doesn't mean I'm Date Masamune in my blood. No, I'm not.
No, you're related to Naruto.
No, I'm not related to Naruto.
Sotodate bayo.
Oh my god, man! Not you too. It's just like it happened to me when it comes to my friends telling me that you're a ball, and then I'm like, no, I'm not. Oh, get this. So like every time when it comes to my friends or like complimenting, I hate or dislike when being called cute or kawaii or you're cutie, because I always put if I read something like you're cutie or cute, I'll be like just repeat the word but in caps, because I'll be like triggered ish way to where I'll provide my meme and
you sent me that meme.
Oh, you even do that to me one time.
Wait.
So one time, I mean, like, there's a meme I have. It's made by all of the cat. Credit to her. It or them. I'm sorry on the pronouns. I'm sorry. I'm sorry when it comes to like the pronouns. I'm a himbo.
I forget sometimes too. Don't
bad
worry.
with me. It's like the Drake. That just hand your hand out, and then they're like the hand pointing up, and then there it's like I prefer like handsome and like Ikemen. I don't like cute or
Honestly,
good,
same.
because I have boundaries. You gotta respect people's boundaries.
Yeah. If
That makes sense.
Yeah, I don't like it when people use those kinds of stuff with my main model. But say if I have a chibi, right? Like I've gotten a whole bunch of chibis. If people say the chibi is cute, I don't mind, because I would say a chibi is cute because chibis in general are kind of cute. In which case I would be fine with that. But otherwise, I'm not really too big of a fan if I am called cute, because I'm like, no, I'm not cute. And then people are like, oh, look at the cute tsundere.
Sometimes you gotta respect people's boundaries, especially mine. Because for those who want to get to know me, first thing first, don't call me cute or cutie. I really dislike it, like to the level of being very uncomfortable, because I'll mention like boundaries.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I won't likely talk in return.
In my case, I might bully you like once. And then you'd be like, "Hey, stop that!" And I'm like, "Aight."
I think that'll be like.
But playfully bullying, I think, is probably fine. And it's like, once you can playfully bully or banter and whatever, and then you reach the line, and then just don't step over that line. All right, but yeah, so Cosmo GX in your chat has a very good question. If you could pick a different model or character for your VTuber, what would it be and why?
That is a very good question. And hey, Cosmo. When it comes to the character-wise, I would say like more to what would it be? I would choose like human-related, because I do know when it comes to like, I notice the trend is more likely the husbando vibes at like huge levels of husbando level, like how much you want to shrimp is more towards a human.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually mine will be like with the animal eaters, with the wolves. I would say human, and then what kind of character I would be. I think I would be more towards like the Ikemen vibes, like
the very big buff guy,
like Bara, or I mean, no, just kidding. Swordsman, like a mercenary or a samurai. I would still stick with the Japanese theme because I love Japanese.
Yeah.
And then for the different for the model wise, I would choose as long as the artist is very specializing on male characters.
Yeah.
And I would go for like very, very hot looking human,
hot and handsome.
like
somebody who, when people see it, they're like, "Holy hell!" It's like you want the reaction that people had when Vox started speaking. Where people just instantly started simping for his voice.
I think my voice, I think like my personality would also change because of matching to the character.
Yeah.
Because that's where I'll most likely factor in towards more husbando kind of vibes.
Yeah.
And like keep myself more just calm, more to Vox kind of vibes. A more father figure. I think like if I ever get like Vox vibes because of how he gets to be called like daddy or dad. Oh my god, don't quit that. Anyway,
clip that. I'll clip
it. No,
I'll clip it on my side on my YouTube. It's not a clip of you. It's a clip from my stream. So
I don't mind. You get the W. I get the L. No, just kidding.
What do you mean? It's a dub for everyone.
Model-wise, I'll choose 2D as long as the artist really, really specializes on male characters, like who can do like muscles on Ikemen.
Yeah.
And then the character is more to human, more to samurai. I think that just one version because I don't more towards the simplicity.
Yeah.
But
why not join the demon gang?
I mean, you can also just doing different versions of your stuff, like cosplay, or
That's true.
for example, or there's like Kitsune, there's like Demon, there what else? Oh, Final Fantasy races, like in Makote. I don't know the pronunciation. I'm sorry for those who love Final Fantasy 14. I'm sorry for butchering it if possible.
I don't,
there's
so it's fine.
also Dragon. I think there's a dragon or bear. Because I have my siblings, my adopted siblings, Kimochi and Honeycub. And then it can also be that. Yeah, I can also do fan arts, or that counts. that really counts. Fan arts, especially, or commissions art. I can always bypass on the species.
Yeah, I mean, you can. There's just so many things you can do. So, and I mean, it's a free will. But yeah, I think if nobody else has any other questions, I think we can end it around here, because we've already been going for about an hour and a half, which is like, I think
an hour and a half.
Yeah, this has been the longest episode we've had so far.
I mean, hey, it's just before my birthday,
I mean, yeah, I know, and also since it's actually, it's almost. Actually, wait, in Japan it's already your birthday, so happy birthday then. In 24 minutes it would be your birthday in my time as well, so Tanjoubi omedetou.
Arigatou gozaimasu. The funny thing about my time zone is that I don't really reveal my time zone, so I don't really actually reveal it to anyone.
Yeah, no, don't worry, I know. We had to schedule this.
One of my best friends, like a close friend of mine, really knows my time zone, so it's very personal and private.
Yeah, no, don't worry.
Otherwise, in the lore, my hour hand doesn't exist, just only the minute. So, for example, it just like 0 to like 59. And then once the 59 hits to like the 60-minute thing,
it goes back to 0.
It goes 0. Exactly. Yeah. And then the hour hand is just 2 question marks. That's my time zone. If that helps. Or in simplistically wise, just put it into minutes. For example, it's 37 minutes for me.
Oh, yeah. That's easy. Unless you're like from a time zone, which is one of those weird ones that has the 30-minute offset, and there's a single time zone. I know there's a single time zone that has a 45-minute offset.
There is a such thing as a 30 or 45-minute. I think it's just more likely very rare.
I don't. It's one time zone with a 45-minute offset. I don't remember which one it is exactly.
I do keep it towards Pacific time zone for American viewers, and then for Asia or Australia time, I go towards Japan time, because I want to stick with the Japanese theme, and then I don't know for Europe, then maybe I would say the UK, because I for some reason that I'm slightly getting the habit of the Cockney from Mist, like how I said a bottle.
A bottle. Yeah. A Cockney accent.
It's the habit. I've been getting affected by Luxian boys. You know what I mean? It's not just me. I don't feel like it's just me.
I actually have a curse when it comes to accents. So I really like accents and imitating them. Like I can do a really good Russian one. Not sure if I'll do that now. But the thing is, the thing with me when I imitate stuff, if I imitate it too much, eventually it might become ingrained. Like I used to, the example that I always use is I used to sneeze very differently, and then in grade 7, in 7th grade, I had this one teacher who sneezed in a very specific way, and I would always mock him in break and recess and stuff. I would always mock him and did you hear his sneeze? It was like something like that. Sorry if that was loud. And eventually, I would mock him so many times about that. I started sneezing like that. And now my sneeze is like that. Nobody on my stream has ever heard me sneeze. I always mute when I sneeze. So,
Oh
good
yeah,
luck.
when it comes to like sneezing, I never got caught. Even there's a, I do know there's a VTuber sneezes, but then they retired. I mean graduate or something. I don't know. I do remember they're gone. But I never get caught on sneezing on stream or outside of it. It does not count. Especially so I did never say the UWU word. You know that word?
Yeah. I refuse.
And I
refuse as
and
well.
I never say the ARA as well.
Oh, I've said that one.
Because
I've done my arara before.
God dang it, you just said it. Oh, that was not active.
It's fine. I said it, not you. So.
For those of you in the chat, I would never say. Unless if for some reason like you really want me to say it, I have my redeems, you know. But they're super expensive. Don't get me wrong. The UW costs 1 million kind of points for me.
Oh, is that what? Oh, that's
that,
what the sacred forbidden word is. I see.
Yeah, I have a lore why I have the secret forbiddens. Yeah, in my lore, I have secret forbiddens, meaning I cannot say the certain words like the UW or the ARA. Like even if you try to edit it to feel like it's me saying that phrase, it would not count.
It wouldn't sound right
because I'll be like just spelling it. It'll take a lot. Like more than just like trying to make me just say that word. Yeah. Like especially if I just try to read it, I always read the word.
Alright.
Yeah. Especially like on my chat, I can read it and then I'll be like, nice try. And especially the these nose jokes, you know. I don't think that really happens. I mean, except for Luca, kind of shit. Well, I think outside of it, I don't mind, but in my chat, it never happened.
I'm usually very vigilant when it comes to that, and I don't. Do you think it counts if you're like, this sounds like a setup, but da 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 da, and then they're like, these nuts. Does that count? I don't think that counts because you're like, you know it's a setup. You're like, this sounds like a setup, but what is like say you're like, hey, do you know Ligma? And I'm like, no, I don't, but this sounds like a setup, so what is Ligma? And then they're like, Ligma balls, and I'm like, yeah, no, that don't count.
I feel like it doesn't count because I feel like you already know what's gonna happen. Yeah. And I'll be like, especially for example, I caught my friend one time with my own way. Is like they posted like some kind of like an eggplant or something, and I DM'd them saying is that an eggplant? And then they say that yes. And then do you eggplant these nuts? That was like my first time that said got up.
First time. I mean, there's got to be a first for everything, but I've not been gotcha'd by chat just yet. I know I'll probably will be at some point, but
yeah, I never get gotcha'd or bullied, like to the extent of being bullied. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no.
Or
when we say bully, we just mean like, you know, just playfully bully. It's not like actually, you know, like insults or stuff.
Yeah, that never really happened to me.
Yeah, no. If it gets to that, you just get banned. Easy. Exactly. If you're being offensive in chat, it's one of the rules. Is you're gonna get banned. But yeah,
I think I don't really mind especially like if what was I about to say? Oh, yeah. I don't mind the decent shows or getting bullied, and like, especially if anyone tries to make me to say it, that will be very hard to me.
Good luck.
You know, so yeah, especially same for like, you know, for example, the try not to laugh challenge. I never really laugh much because I was like, oh, I know. I was like, I'm a himbo. And like, if I were to watch like a funny TikTok video, I'm like, oh, I was like, oh, because I'm like, I feel like I have a little boomer feels where I'm like, I'm like, what's happening? I don't mind laughing outside from the challenge, but inside
Yeah.
the challenge, I can
I won't
handle
laugh.
all the videos. I'm like, I don't really get caught.
My humor has gotten to a point where my humor is like just absolutely broken, but I can still. I like to think that I'm pretty good at trying not to laugh challenges.
My humor is more like I'm just a dork, you know. I don't really have much. I like to just a sense of humor because I'm more like just a dorky person.
Yeah.
Same for when it comes to like in the groups. I'm just more quiet because I'll be like I'm a type of person who just listens and just like I just nod and then I try to do my best, try to understand because otherwise I'll be a himbo. I'm like, what's going on? What do you mean? They're like, no, without offending them, I'll feel bad.
Yeah.
And give this himbo a break. Yes, I'm not afraid of being called a himbo. Don't call me like a boomer because I'll bonk you.
I've been
Especially for unsay so.
with I think my 2.0 debut stream. I had like this whole string of adjectives added to my name, which was like I was a boomer, I was a bunny, I was like a whole bunch of shit. I was a bunny because I have how many by now? I think I have around 24, 25 VTuber children. Just rigging.
Holy crap!
So they called me a bunny.
I have like how many do I have for VTuber siblings wise? I have I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have over 50. I have over 50.
Damn.
I can confirm.
Damn.
Because of that, like in some like estimating between like all 4 models. For 4 versions.
I see.
Yeah,
because different artists, different families.
Yes, I always count the riggers and illustrators siblings as my siblings. I also count my family lore siblings like Kimochi and Honeycup, and I can also consider myself as an uncle, you know, when it comes to like any VTuber children, you know, especially like, you know, like nephews and nieces. And I'm like, Uncle Lava, you know, I want to be just be a good uncle. I don't want to be like a bad uncle, being a bad friend.
I'm a bad father. I've not collabed with. I don't think I've collabed with like any of my children. I've collabed with one. I know that for a fact.
I can confirm I have 3 models. No wait, 4-ish models for first version. The second one is still in progress as of now, as in like January 9/January 8. Because I'm still waiting for my illustrator to get back to me with the updates, even though they've been heavily busy. And then there's the third version where I'm waiting for Yuli. He's known for making the 3D models. Yeah, the one he's one that like
I know Yuli.
Models.
Yeah, Yuli has done some good shit.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Yuli's
Almost open.
Commission slots to be open. I want to be one of the Yuli's children.
Damn.
Well, I mean, like technically, I want a 3D model. I want to debut with like fancy stuff. I'm going very big and very daring.
Yeah.
And then
I've seen the debut planning channel.
And then the 4th version is I got the model illustration done. However, I do need to update with a tiny bit of tweak by adding my mascots and Kimono Mimi and the tail. I want to have all of my models have their own mascot. They all have a mascot. I can confirm. Shinkushi is my first one. The second one is Yukishi. Third one is Shinyashi. Fourth one is Nikoshi. So in Japanese, Yuki is snow.
Yes, or courage.
And then
although it's Yuki.
then Shinya is midnight. Then
Midnight snow.
Then Nico means sunshine.
Hmm.
Because there's a bigger, deeper Ruby reference lore related to my thing in connection to my lore I was talking about in the beginning.
Yeah.
Is that
So the Yuki would be Weiss, Midnight Blake, and the Sunshine would be Yang.
Yeah.
Yang
so,
Biscuit, by the way.
You know, so like you know how there's the Ruby letters, like the RWBY.
Yes.
So translating into English, there's Crimson Snow, Midnight, and Sunshine. So if you take the letters of the first 2 letters of each, which is a C, Crimson, S for Snow, M for Midnight, and S for Sunshine, it's CSMS. And then the deep one, here's a kicker, because there's a Final Fantasy reference, is that it stands for Cosmos.
Oh, I see.
Because all 4 versions are actually warriors of light, saving the universe and time periods against the chaos as a main theme.
Yeah.
And that's a very huge goal of my entire lore, my character, and there will be an official original Takashi, what he looks like, but it won't be not now, not this year. I just want to focus on the all 4 versions.
It'll be in the future.
Because I have a debut music ready. Well, I mean, teaser wise, and I also have the animators and music people I want to commission, or I mean we're in the process of working on the songs and stuff, or on standby for my debut stuff. And then I'm really going for daring where I want to stream 24-hour on all 4 versions, with an anime style of an opening, not just a typical minute and 30 seconds. One whole song.
Damn.
And the opening, and then an ending, and then the kicker is that exclusive wise, I will have a surprise thing for everyone they really should tune into at the very end, because I don't call it debut 2.0. I don't call it a re-debut. I call them comebacks because I respect the K-pop and J-pop. Yeah, I love K-pop.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that's where I call them comebacks. So I have the debut and 3 comebacks, and I will also have teasers and trailers for sure. Unless if people want to see my design, I mean, my birthday. Just kidding. By all means, I do want to go for all 4 models, and I mean all 4 versions. So there's a title coded way just to tell the difference, how do you address them. So the version you see right now is my first version. I call it Takashi X Stella. So
Xtella.
the Fate series is a huge reference for the names.
Yeah.
So
I can tell the Xtella one because I've watched Fate a bit.
If you're a Fate series fan, you would know the references on my title.
Very where you at. One of my mods is a big Fate fan.
Yeah, because when you were asking me about the listing the husbandos, I listed the Fate series characters from Apocrypha.
Yeah, no, I haven't watched Apocrypha or know anything of that, so I would have missed that.
Siegfried is my boy. And I want to make sure. Yeah, Siegfried is one of my favorites. Same for Keiron and Achilles. I always play husbandos in any gacha games, Genshin Impact, and
so I'm assuming with Genshin you play... I forgot the guy's name. I know Lumine is the chick The guy
Ether.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I play Genshin in the North America server-wise. I only play Husbandos. I mean, the exception is I exclude it is if there's like a demo or you try it or like the trial thing. Like you have to play as Kaching or Ganyu.
Yeah.
Then,
And plus you get free stuff from
I'm
just doing
fine
that
with
demo.
And then other than that, I'll be playing as my husbandos. Same applies with my fake grand order. I only play husbandos like Siegfried, QQ there's who else I main? Katron. I always make sure that I always routine them to make sure they get a turn.
Oh yeah.
Siegfried is always in my team. Same for
So I'm assuming Siegfried is main boy.
Yes, because I got him in my tutorial role. Because ever since then, and because he's my favorite in Apocrypha, I want to keep him as my main.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to like there was a Las Vegas event in the FGO, and Siegfried has his event, so I got his.
I see.
His summer swimsuit. Quote, quote. I wish that there was more fan service on that summer. I'm molding inside on FGO on summer. Don't get me wrong, because every single time there's summer scene, always bikinis or like for females.
Yeah.
Whereas for the boys, they're stuck as like an alt outfit, or you're taking that outfit through this quest, and then you get like that like a that kind of outfit.
Yeah, it's just man.
Secret is Secret is like it's not even a swimsuit, man. Like I know there is a craft essence where there is you're showing your shirt, your chest of Arthur Pendragon, Arthur, or aka Arthur Prototype. He's showing his chest. Same for Gawain. Gawain is showing it. I was like, why not also have Emiya Archer, because he has his summer outfit from another game. I forgot what it's called. I think it's maybe Exile Link or something. But he's in his Speedo or something.
I might. I was thinking for my next my 3.0 model, which I plan on getting sometime this year. Probably for my 2-year anniversary, maybe. I was thinking I could go like some type of summer wear, where it's like I wear even less than this jacket with no sleeves. It's like maybe I'd have like my chest open or something.
If it comes to husbandos, I can talk about it all all day, because I love husbandos. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can tell my husband's taste. Yeah. I like what's coming. Like I love into muscular type. Yeah. I'm not into like fanboys. And I don't mind transgender, because I have my other father who's transgender in Mongol. I can confirm my father said they both look like more muscular and handsome. And I came in. Hell yeah. So for Genshin, my one of my new mains is Ito. Like go figure. Yeah. And then there's Goro. I do have everyone in Genshin in battle.
Damn.
Yes, I always try to make sure I try to get everyone as possible. I was so sad when it comes to like not having Albedo. I mean, I don't really play Albedo because I want to go for husbandos. So I go for Diluc on my DPS, Talia, and then there's Zhongli for defense, my main. Yeah. And there's I always for the fort I always swap between Razor. There's Ether, and kind of because of the, the what you would call it, the elements.
Yeah,
Visions. Visions. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm. And then the Ito, Doma, and the Goro are some of my new mains, and so because of that, I'm adding Ito to my
Your
main
roster. Yeah.
because I can relate to him a lot.
Well, with that
So-
being said, and after we just passed the 2-hour mark, I think it's about time we end this episode. So, let me do my outro. So, thanks everyone for coming by and watching or listening to this episode of FNV. I've been your host, Zarastro, and I thank my wonderful guest, Sotodate Takashi. There we go.
You can just call
For
me
joining me.
Takashi or Wolf or Lord Takashi.
Yeah, I just want to give you a full name right now. And I thank you for joining me tonight. Make sure you all check him out on his socials, both in the show notes and the description, on screen, wherever. And make sure you subscribe here on YouTube, follow on whichever audio-only platform you're listening on, so that you can get notified of the next episode. But until then, thanks everybody for joining. Thanks, Takashi, for being here.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Hi.
Thank you so much. It feels such a huge honor, and I really appreciate it during my birthday.
Hey, it's
I feel
a pleasure.
very
I
special.
hope you
it
have a
really
great
made my
birthday
day a
further.
lot. This is my first anime interview. I will never forget about this.
I'm honored. But yeah, with that, thanks everybody for coming. And until next time when we see each other, ciao for now.
Sun goes down, our spirits free. Nothing left but our energy. Take my hand, we can go and see a world unknown. Come explore with me. No, explore with me. Yeah, explore with me.